I became a speed reading and memory coach by accident, really. I don't have a gifted brain, although I've memorized entire tables of contents of books. I was that kid that flunked 5th grade. It took me a year and a half to get to get my dream job, even with a degree. And what did that force me to do? Well, it forced me to realize I had no one else to blame but myself for my situation. Moved back in with my parents. My dad was like, "What are you doing here, man?" And it's like, I really wish back then I had the skill to learn faster, but I just wasn't there. I was in my brother's room, rock bottom, seriously, my little brother's room, bunk bed. And then my friend came over and gave me 2 books that changed my life, changed my mindset. I was not a reader. I hated reading, was a slow reader. But I was like, you know what? Anything would be better than submitting job applications, hearing back from nobody, looking at this screen all day. Awful. Awful. I was tired of being on social media too. I would just scroll, submit, not a good state. And trying the same thing over and over and over and over, I was going insane. And my parents were like, you should maybe like give up and get a real job. This doesn't look like the industry for you. But those 2 books created a shift. Those 2 books, and they're very popular books, and I'll tell you at the end of the video which books they were. But here's what these books did for me. Really, they gave me the courage to ask for help. They gave me insight into the soft skills of billionaires, multimillionaires that would help me just acquire this one dream job that wasn't even that much. And it expanded my horizon. And then once I did get my job and I got double the salary than I was intended, just because of a handful of books, I gave myself a promise. I said, you know what, at a minimum, because books did this much for me, I'm not going to stop learning now. Because I read the contract for my job and it said, hey, we could drop you at any time. Really, it was like, oh my gosh, so I'm going to build this skill of making this other person money when I could be spending the time to work on how do I build the skill of being able to sustain myself, because they could drop me at any time. I didn't like that. So I woke up every day to meditate, to read multiple hours, and then I gave a commitment. I'm going to read a book a week minimum. Ended up reading 70 books in 12 months with the full-time job. Then I got laid off, and then I was ready to go to just start making money. But it's only because of the books. If I had not made that commitment to myself in 1 year, even though I was the most busy, so many people are telling me, it's like, David, just focus on the job, focus on serving them. You shouldn't be reading. But I said, screw that. I had every excuse to not read. Sure, I wasn't really applying the information, but knowledge is potential power. And if you store up potential power, what does that do for you? You are ready for the future. So I'm totally for you storing up potential power, because people get all angry saying, well, knowledge isn't real power. You got to take action. Well, I'm ready to take action because I've consumed so much knowledge, and I believe in the theory that if you consume so much knowledge, it'll start to kind of piss you off, because you're realizing how much of a non-action taker you are, and only 2 things will happen. You're going to go crazy, or 1, you're going to go a little crazy and then take some action and change your life, right? There are so many people that I'll meet that like, they avoid certain books. It's like, oh, that book, scary. I'm not going to read that. It's ignorance. Like, to people like, let's say, who don't want to develop the skill of sales, even though it's very, very important. Every CEO has it. Elon Musk has it. You don't want to do the dirty work, fine. But it's part of life. If they've done it, you need to do it. You're not special. That's what reading tons of books, hundreds of books, made me realize. I'm not special. Just copy what people have done. Okay, so let's talk more about, again, why am I still doing this after, what is it, over 2 years now? It's fulfilling. Seeing other people gain centuries of knowledge in a matter of months and then actually retaining it, improving their memory, improving their relationship with reading, changing it forever. I've helped people for free, and I've helped people that pay me money to help pay the bills. Right? So I really did become a speed reading and memory coach by accident. And if you're, I just wanted to copy people on how they started their business, which they're like, all right, well, David, help people for free. Talk to people. So I remember I couldn't even sell people on the idea that, hey, let me help you for $0 to improve your reading speed. They're like, what? Improve my reading speed? Bullshit. You can't do that. And if you can, then I'm just retaining nothing. I was like, wait, but look, like, think about it. I couldn't convince people. I cannot transfer influence. I cannot transfer belief. That is what true sales is. Can you transfer belief? And back then I couldn't, so I read books on it. And then read books on this. Well, why am I procrastinating? Well, why am I doing this? At a focused level. Not just listening to it, not passive, active. And look at that. 52 books are right there. That's the difference between a book a week and a book a month. There's the book a month reader. And then there's the average American, over 0 to 2 books a year. And then 1 in 4 Americans read 0 books in the last year. That is what I wanted. And that's what you probably want if you're watching this video, you're watching this playlist, because you believe that consuming those many books, like the top 26% of CEOs, might help you experience what I call time travel, time distortion, where this year, these next 12 months, could be the year where you consume decades worth of knowledge. But it's up to you if you're ready for that change. All right, so that's how I became a speed reading and memory coach by accident. And last thing, what I'll share is now I'm very humbled to say that I've worked with CEOs from the 6 to 8 figure level with multiple 8-figure businesses, help them learn more, help their companies read more and retain more. Because if you could learn faster, you could earn faster. If you could retain more, you remember more. And if you remember more, you make more money. Memory makes money. All right, next topic will be, you know what, sure, I'll talk about my top 10 books. How about we do that?